Hello everybody, good day to you and welcome back. Glad you guys are here. We are working on a 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. I think this is just the two-wheel drive version. It's got the 3.6 liter Pentastar engine. It came in for an EVAP code, a P0440 and a P0455, I think. This video is not about the EVAP system. We kind of diagged this one late yesterday and it didn't record much. What we had found on it, I'll just let you guys know, because I did make a short about this car earlier, is that somebody had attempted to already fix this thing up, and they replaced the purge valve up on the engine. That's the easiest to get to component. It's relatively cheap, so it was a good roll of the dice to see if that would fix the problem. Turns out it did not. So after a little bit of invasive diagnostic and inspection, we pulled apart the left rear inner fender liner, and I wanted to take a look at all of the plumbing for the emission system. And as you can see, this plumbing in here is actually quite extensive. There's lines going to the tank, and then out of the tank, and then into the fender, and then up here to this canister vent assembly. See this this monstrosity up here hanging out? And this is where I believe I traced the issue to. What I had done is pulled the filter out of this unit, which is this component right here. It's gonna plug in to that port right there, and then it sits in that little housing. I pulled this filter out and I removed it from the case. Look at that, it still has dirt falling out of it. This filter is super duper clogged up. This is from the first time that I shook it down, and we just pulled it apart again and there's more dust coming out of it. So this is a restricted system. We're gonna have to replace that vent filter assembly. Now, problem is I can't make a video about this right now because these components on this car are about 45 days back order. That's national back order. They don't exist. The aftermarket does not have a replacement part, so I've got to sort of stick this on the back burner. I think what I'll do is just clean this filter out as best I can, blow it out with some air, and we're just going to reassemble it and pending replacement components. It's either that or I leave the car sit here for 45 days, and I don't want to do that. Now, back to what this video is actually going to be about. During our inspection and servicing process, we had noticed a little bit of an oil leak, and we haven't torn into it yet, so our vision's going to be rather limited. Let me lower this thing down real quick, and I'll show you what we found. All right, back over here to the engine compartment. We have found that the Achilles heel on this particular engine is exactly what our failure point was. If we take a look right here, we're gonna notice that's the engine oil filter housing. There's a canister style filter inside of that. And if you look down below it, you see that shiny, glossy bit of a liquid down there? That is engine oil and engine coolant mixing together. Underneath of this intake manifold, there's this large monstrosity of an engine oil cooler. It's got oil coming into it from inside of the engine, and then it's got some coolant lines running into it that are gonna run coolant through that cooler to displace and remove heat from the engine oil into the cooling system. And those things were made out of plastic. They are super failure prone, and it's like I said, one of the most common failures on this particular engine, with the exception of the valve seats and the valve train and the pistons and the crankshaft and the rods and you know, all the other stuff. So what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna pull this intake off of here. We're gonna remove all this plumbing and all this good nonsense right here, get access down to that cooler, and we're gonna pull that failure prone plastic cooler assembly out of this engine, and we're gonna replace it with an upgraded all aluminum cooler assembly. This is gonna be about a 5-hour job, so let's not waste any more time with jaw jacking or introduction, things of that nature. Let's get set up here and get straight to it. So stay tuned, because this is gonna be a very good video. Okie dokes, the best place to get started is right in the beginning. And in the beginning of our engine, we have our air intake system. So let's start pulling this stuff apart. We're gonna pull the air filter out, the air box, and then we'll work our way into the manifold. Let's get PCV hose off of here. 2 8mm fasteners in the air box lid, the Ocho. Another on the clamp. Let's pull that guy off. Ooh, a K&N. Ultra high flow. A dirty K&N. Dang. On the side here we have an intake air temperature sensor. Let's disconnect that guy. One 10mm bolt. And I believe the rest of this thing is fastened down with looks like just some rubber grommets here. Let's pull those grommets up. Release. Yeah, here we go. Oh, got a wire attached over here. Just wiggle that guy off. Come on, plastic clip. Release. Escalating. Interior trim tool. It's great for pulling these guys off. There we go. So right here, this is that new purge valve that we mentioned earlier. That is not the problem, but we do need to disconnect it and get the lines and hoses removed here. Let's see, I'll probably just take this whole assembly off right here. It's got to go anyway. We're going to put some spark plugs and coils in this while it's apart, so all this stuff has to go away. Again, there's rubber grommets securing everything. No more bolts. Come on, remove. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. The proper amount of force in the right direction is all we needed. So let's pull this assembly out of here and set that aside. There's a PCV hose right here. Now in order to get this out, we've got to depress that little white piece. That's the retainer clip, and then kind of just pry it away from the fitting. And I broke it. Come on. Bad Ray. Oh, what have I done? I broke something. Little PCB fitting or something of that nature here. I believe I can replace this if I can get it to come off. Turn. Hey, I broke it some more. All right. Epic destruction. Chrysler plastic. It's cool. Whatever. Yeah, this thing's supposed to rotate. There we go. Turn that some. Let's go ahead and dig this thing out so I can find a new one. I wonder if I have one in my box of Pentastar parts. I hope I do. Let's get some more torque on it here. Okay, it's loose. Get behind it, pry it away from the cover. Come out, come out. There we go. Yeah, I think it's just a PCV vent. Either way, I broke it. Need a new one. All right, continuing with the disconnection of the electrical components. I now realize this thing's gonna be a little brittle, and force application needs to be used with caution. I don't want to break things. Let's get this harness removed from the manifold, so we'll go back in with that trim tool and work these little plugs out. There we go. Now down here, there's another connector. That guy right there. Okay, that should be fun. We'll reach around it here with the little pocket driver. Oh, come on out of there, you. I think this is the, like an EGR thing. Can't see that connector either. Come on, you. There we go. Got that one loose. And I think there's one more over here on this throttle body. Okay. Let's get that one removed. Let's see how we're gonna do this here. We'll get behind that little tab, push that locking tab back through. This connectors get full of dirt and they don't want to release. Oh, look, another connector for the harness. I'm gonna need to pull that guy off. This is fun. Wonder if I should just remove the throttle body, leave all these connected. There we go, got that one. Gravity. Set that one aside. That's disconnected, disconnected. I think all my wires are disconnected. Let's get some bolts removed. Now I think this is some EGR business. I know that that looks like a coolant hose, but I believe it is exhaust gas. What I'll do is pull that clamp off and we'll work this hose off of this little valve here. Last time I tried to work on one of these, I attempted to remove this from the intake, and it's got some plumbing that runs inside, and I found it to be difficult to remove. So I don't think that was the easiest way possible. What I'll do here is get under this hose and just kind of break that bond between the hose without poking a hole in it. I know that's easier said than done. We'll just walk this trim tool around. Get behind it and apply some leverages. Twist. Yeah, that hose isn't coming off either. Maybe I had that idea backwards. Maybe I am supposed to remove that valve and the hose. Let's try that. Let's try a 10 mil on these nuts. Yeah, see, it doesn't want to come out all the way. Maybe I'll take the other end of this hose off instead. Let's try to do that. Yeah, like I said, I sort of forgot the order of operations on this particular valve. Get in there. Oh, that's a tight clamp too. Man. Let's try some extendo angular needle nose pliers here. And I know you're gonna ask, what about my my hose clamp tool? I broke it. I was improperly using it and I snapped off one of the ends, and I unfortunately am kind of lazy sometimes, or it didn't fit the priority list, and I have yet to reorder one. So I'm going back to doing this the hard way with pliers. Let's try a different hose clamp tool. This one is a cable operated unit. Basically just squeeze the thing and it shortens the cable, squeezes that guy down. Maybe I can get her removed with this guy. It has its advantages and its disadvantages. Let's see if this one's gonna do our bidding here or not. Giving it a squeeze. Okay, the clamp is loose. Kinda. Yep, let's just pull this guy up. Ow, I pinched my finger in there. Did you see that? That hurt. Okay, well, the hose is stuck to the other end of the EGR now. Here, we'll go in with another pick, if I can get in there. And we'll get behind that hose again, kind of run this pick around and try to get it to break free. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. What's up, Chrysler Dodge people? Tell me what I'm doing wrong here, because I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, I'm doing it wrong. New idea. Let's take the studs out that are locking us in on this this valve assembly. E-Torx for the win. That's also not working. None of this is working. Getting frustrated badly. Seriously? I don't think this is the right way to remove this. Not possible. But it's kind of, don't fall! Ooh, it's kind of removed. At least, look here, now I can at least move it around. So we've got some wiggle action going on that hose. Come on, hose. Come on, hose. Come off of there. Ooh, it's moving. Kind of. Oh, look at here. I found the secret. That's it right there. That's it. That's what holds us up, is this little gasket business. Haha. I see. If I take this piece of gasket, bend that little tab out, look at that. Now we're free. Clean that thing out. Okay, figured out what that bit of business was about there. I'm just gonna leave this hang out right here to the side. We don't need that for right now. All right, so now here's where things start to get a little tight. Back here behind this wiring harness, there's a bracket that bolts this intake down. It's real tough to see. I mean, you can't really see anything because there's all the stuff in the way, but that bracket is held on with that little stud and nut right there. So we're gonna pull that guy out. And the other piece of the bracket, try to take that loose. Might have to remove the whole little deal. Yeah, it's gotta come off. Come here, bolt. Come off. Got it. And it's still bolted on. I wonder. Let's pull that stud out. It's either a straight through stud or it's a stud similar to those EGR studs where it's got the little flap behind it. Let's find out. Okay, that's got the flap behind it, so that's not gonna work here. Screw you back in. I can't get a thing on it. There. So that means I need to take off that bolt down there on that, looks like an air pump bracket. And I think, yeah, that should be it. One more fastener right down there. Let's get that one next. This is gonna get easier as we go along. In theory. And there's another fastener somewhere here. This is becoming aggravating. Oh, wait. I see one hiding out. There's one behind this wire harness right here. Or this connector rather. There's a bolt right underneath of it. I need to get that one out next. That's the one that's hanging on to the remainder of this little bracket right here. I see. Let's see, I wonder if I can get my hand in there. All right, so I guess I'll start with getting a socket onto it. That would be a good place to begin. If I can get a socket in there, it's not a 12. Therefore, it must be a 13, because it doesn't look like a 10 from the little piece of it that I can see. Come on now. Well, we're just going in. Can't see it, but I can feel it. And that's all that we got right now is our feelings. Yeah. Oh, this thing's gonna be fun to put back in later. There it is. So now that little bracket should be free enough to sneak that guy out of there off the stud. Not yet. Come on. Still stuck. Ah, I see another one. There it is. Look how this is going. There's a bolt behind this piece of wiring harness where this piece of harness is connected with this clip. See what I'm poking at right here with this trim tool? I need to get the harness unclipped from its little housing bracket business here. Then when I move it out of the way, behind it, there's that stinking bolt nut fastener. That's the one I'm looking for. I'm over here unbolting everything except for that one. Yeah, that's the one. I have you now. Or don't I? Can't reach. That thing. Here we go. Now we're in business, I think. Probably not. Here, back up some. Be nice if I could see. Need to pull the bracket off of that stinking stud. There. This still won't even come out. It's captured. Yeah, that thing. That's what I was trying to get out of there. Okay. Whew. All right, one more set of brackets on the front of this intake, then we can unbolt the intake and then pull that unit off. There's a couple bolts for this little coolant line here. I need to get a different tool. That one's not gonna fit. We'll try the low profile socket / ratchet. That does fit. What we got in there, no problem. Easy peasy. Sure. There's another one right next to it. That's gonna loosen up this coolant line. And then there's two more bolts on the actual bracket. That one there, and the other, again, can't reach, so we'll take that one out manually. So what we have just disconnected is all the support structure for the front of this manifold. It's like an L shape, and it's only bolted on primarily on the lower intake over there in the center of the engine, but that allows all this leverage against those fasteners, so we put a bracket over here to keep this thing from flexing. It's so the plastic doesn't break. Anyways, now we've got a series of 8mm fasteners around the intake runners. We take those guys loose and this whole thing should pop out of here. These are captured in the manifold. Oops. Not captured. All right, got it. Are we loose? Yep, it's free. Let's back up and pull this thing out. We're kind of free. What are we stuck on? More wiring harness. There we go. Got it. Ooh, piece of rubber. That's a noise absorption material. We'll put that back. We'll put it back later. Not right now. We don't need it right now. Okay, let's fill up these holes so I don't drop components down inside of them. I'll make sure to not suck them up in the engine when we're done. There we go. Okay, now we have more electrical connectors to disconnector. We're gonna get the ones on the coils first. Pop these guys out. But how do I depress this one? What are we doing here? Yeah, when you depress it, it's supposed to pick the tab up down there, but it's not. I think there's too much dirt stuck in there. There. Get rid of those guys. That's coils. We've got a sensor right here. Disconnect this unit. Yeah, that was had to push down really hard. Okay, another sensor right there. Under the tab and lift it up. There we go. Now start working on this side of the harness where it's bracketed to the valve cover. They're held in with more of that plastic push pin business, so I'll just get behind that one as well with the trim tool, and we'll walk this thing up and out from its position. Leverage is our friend when applied properly. Okay, now we expose fuel injector wires. Let's get these guys disconnected without breaking them. It's red for caution. They're gonna break. Or you're gonna stab yourself by mistake. And all of those options are less than desirable. Oh, come on, you. Got it. Let's pop the little red business up. Nope. Now let's try this. Got some curvy needle noses. I should be able to squeeze the release button just right and then pull, which is how this connector is designed to be removed, but I just can't get my fingers in there to really depress that little button in there. There we go. That one's loose. A red release tab again. Alright, so those are all the injector connectors. Let's move on to the fuel line, and then we'll move back to the other valve cover in the rear. So this little blue guy right here, that's our fuel line going into the fuel rails. Let's pull it up. Aha! Got it. If you lose one of those, it's not the end of the world. It happens all the time. They're actually replaceable. I think Dorman makes new ones. Come on, fuel line. comes. Okay, we'll set this thing aside. Just up or around over there on that coolant line should be good. So let's go back and remove more connectors. So we have a better view of this rail on this side. You guys see the little tabs there that kind of secure this rail to that cover? We just get under those guys and pop them out. Real easy, like at the right angle, of course. Those are good. Let's get the injectors back, or these injectors removed, rather. Pop those guys out. See, here's where the angles are going to be a problem. I can't get those curvy pliers in there with ease, I think, on this rear bank, because I'm supposed to come at it from like far away and point it this way. Again, it's all about those angles, but we're going to try it. Let's see what I can do here. If you squeeze these too hard, it'll break them. So there's a very delicate balance here of applying force, but not so much where we damage things. There we go. Getting good at this now. Okay, that's all the injectors. Now we just need to worry about the hardware slash connectors on the top here, and we're good to, at that point, remove this lower intake manifold. Time to pull on some clips. It's all about those angles. Okay. And then what I'll do is go behind those connectors and get under the tab, walk it right off. Yeah, now I've got the system worked out, so we're good here. Sweet. One more over here. Come on. Your friends came off so easily. Don't do that. Come on. There. Good, 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 good. So we don't have to take this all the way off. I just sort of need to just shove it back out of the way. And same thing with the one in front of us. Let's pull it back out of the way. And now it's time to remove this lower intake manifold. Again, a series of 8mm fasteners. Pull these guys right out. That one's tight. That one's very tight. No! Dang, you hear that crack? Is this cross-threaded? Come on. Nature's Loctite. Did I miss one? Or 6? Nope, didn't miss one. Got it. Oh, hang on, there's another connector on the side over here. Cool. More wiggling of connectors. Oh, got it. That one right there, that's the input connector for the fuel injector harness, I think. Anyway, let's pull our manifold out. And there's another piece of plastic that I just broke. All right. destroy all components. Look, rats were here. So here it is. There is our component. That's the cooler for the oil filter housing right here. Got a pressure sensor, little hose running through right there, and we can see there's coolant sitting right on top of this unit. See that orange right there? And then all down below there's more coolant and looks like oil everywhere. So this thing's leaking both fluids. Looks like it's running out of the back of the engine down on top of the transmission. And wouldn't you know it, you'll never notice a drip in your driveway because they covered the bottom of these things with these skid panels. And that's gonna collect all that oil that drips down, so the person that owns the car might not ever notice. How about that? All right, time to dig out the rat dookie. We've got the shop vac over here. Let's power this unit on. Loud noises. Goodbye, droplets of rat. Okay, that's good. Powering down. Pew! Here, let's put that in the backside hole. There. So, I spy with my little eye a clue, and this clue is going to be testament to just how junk these coolers are. If you look right here at that connector, you see what's missing? The little red locking tab that goes in that connector. That means someone has already had that connector removed once before, and since they removed it, I can only assume they removed it in order to replace this assembly right here. So now we know it's already failed once, and now we're on our second failure. That is why I'm switching to the aluminum version. So here's the thing about those aluminum ones. They actually cost like twice as much as the plastic ones, but as you can see over on, well, based on that little connector, that we're already on at least the second one of these units. So I don't think this is it's really a cost factor. So this is actually one of those like buy once, cry once situations where if you put the better part in the first time around, then you don't have to go back and do it again the second time around. Especially when factoring in like the labor to get to this job, because it's like a 4 or 5 hour job, something like that. Let's see what we get here. Wires. Hang on a second here. I don't think this is what I wanted. Something is not right here. Look at that, 926959, that's the part number. But this is the plastic one. Look, they sent me the plastic one. I want the aluminum one. The aluminum one is supposed to come with an orange cap, which has a different filter in there. And this is the factory grade plastic junk one that I don't want, but I paid aluminum one pricing. That's not going to work. I don't know what that's about, but I'm not gonna put this in. Oh, come here. This is not the one I want. Okay, I need to go call the parts store. Let's go confirm that I ordered the right stuff first. 926959, that's the part number, right? Hang on, to the computerizer. Yeah, look at here, 926959. OE Solutions engine oil filter housing, aluminum engine oil filter housing with oil cooler. So they have the correct unit listed. Yeah, look at there, that's aluminum. That's all aluminum. This is what we want, that's aluminum. Gaskets, and there's our orange cap. See that right there? That indicates that this has a different filter, and it's also the better unit. See? Problem, plastic, fix, aluminum. Ruh-roh. There's treachery afoot here. And Dave be like, yep, all day long. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Hey look, they put this piece of crap part into Volkswagens too. Yeah, VWs get them, Ram gets them, Jeep gets them, Dodge gets them, and Chrysler gets them. Okay, problem solved. We got a new, oh, I tripped on my own thing. We have a new one on the way. O'Reilly's tells me that this is the correct part number for the aluminum units, but it looks like somebody has performed like a switcheroo here. So we have an improperly boxed component. Not sure how that went down, but not my concern because the right one is on the way now. Intermission, standby for new parts. Okay, well, while we're waiting on parts again, I guess I can remove this old unit. Money shot to the face, it just sent oil all over me. That was gross. Didn't see that coming. So what do we have here? 4 bolts or 6 or 5? There's 3 of them. I think there's another one hiding out. Yeah, back there. I can't reach it. Need more extension. Just a couple more inches. There we go. I believe this unit should be loose. Kind of. We're probably gonna break this off inside of the valley. Yep, there we go. Look at that. There's our contamination factor. Now we've got coolant and oil mixing together. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's nasty. Ooh, new parts. I'm not doing that. I am not a dishonest individual, sir. I'm not doing anything like that. So yeah, there's your plastic boy.
Oh my God.
I never even unwrapped it, bro. Don't look at me. And there's no Mopar boxes around here, so I didn't do it.
It might have came off the vehicle. I don't know.
Yeah, someone at the warehouse is
Someone pulled this thing out. Well,
making some extra money
anyway. So I don't know if you want the rest of these.
No, I can't use. Well, this one's supposed to come with all the gaskets.
It does.
And that one does not. Maybe they just labeled it wrong. That's what we're looking for.
There we go.
They changed. I think they changed the oil filter number too.
Yeah, they pulled a little sneaky. No.
No.
It's all the same.
Nope.
It's whoever decided to return this one decided to take everything they wanted.
Oh, that one's been returned. I see what they do. You got to vet those returns, man. Find out who did it and then black flag them. Don't sell them anymore.
God, I wish we could do that. I've already been hit with HR reports because I've been
well, they're stealing.
Yeah, I know. They don't want to believe that. I'm telling you.
Catch it on video and then post it on the internet. That'll change their mind.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Anyway, there's our cooler. There's our housing. This is where the failures occur. There's our filter. There's our cap to let you know it's good because it's orange. And some gaskets. All right. Cool. Let's get this thing installed. Oh, the drama around auto parts. I'll tell you what. It's insanity. Anyway, let's finish digging this thing out. So let's imagine here that this is like a regular retail shop, okay? Like a tire store or, you know, something like that, or, you know, just a different kind of shop where there was a disconnect between whoever ordered the parts and whoever installs the parts. What they would have done is they would have ordered what they thought to be the orange unit, and when it arrived, they would have gotten the plastic one. Now, the technician may not have known. So what could have happened there is the shop could have inadvertently charged the customer for the higher end, more expensive part, given them a lower quality part, and nobody would have known the difference. All because some loser with no morals is out committing larceny. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable human behavior, people. Gotta stop doing this kind of stuff. There we go. Okay, so here's our piece of junk unit. Yep, plastic. And we have a mess too. One other thing, we always have to do an oil change when completing this this job right here, because look, we have this slurry of engine oil and coolant, and some of that coolant has made its way down into the engine oiling system, and that's not any good. So let's get this cleaned up a little bit. We'll take this over to the bench, toss it down, and we need to suction out all of that contaminant from the valley there and clean that up real nicely. Here, I'm gonna roll over the brake fluid evacuation machine. Don't tell the BG guys, because I'm not supposed to be doing this with this machine. It's supposed to be brake fluid only. But I'm gonna go ahead and suck out all this nasty stuff in here. Look at that, look how deep that is. It's like 4 inches deep of oil. The NOx sensors are saturated. The leaves are saturated. Suctioning. More over here, get rid of that. coolant down there. Suck that out. Yeah, it's pretty gross. Come here, coolant leaf. Yeah, see, the problem is, if this is left unchecked, it can actually cause a boatload of damage because, see, the rubber hose here, the wire here, none of this stuff likes being soaked in oil. So if you neglect this, all this stuff is just kind of swimming underwater. That's not okay. A little bit more, suction that out, slurp it on up. Uh-oh. Timekeeper Dave is closing up the doors. I believe that's my cue. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, guys, looks like we're closing up for the day. And I guess throughout all those snafus that we just encountered, I'm a little behind schedule. I kind of wanted to get this done before the afternoon was up, but it looks like that's not gonna happen. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna suction all this nasty out of here, and I can pick back up on this in the morning, and we'll finish it up lickety split. So looks like this is gonna end up being loud noises. This is gonna end up being a part 2, I suppose. Like I said, 5-hour job. We can't condense it all down to 30 minutes, so we're just gonna make it an hour and some change and make that 2 videos. So having said that, guys, again, and as always, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Certainly hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this design and the updated design that Dorman, of all people, make. Dorman's really stepped their game up over the years. They used to have a bad rep, and they're really coming in and filling in the voids for what the market is looking for. So good on you guys. We appreciate it. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling on. I'm in this video right now. Again, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. And most importantly, before I go, I want to wish each and every one of you a fantastic day. See you guys later. In a video, in a Chrysler, in a Dorman, end of nasty, ending of transmission. Oh, hang on, I'm never gonna live this down if I don't do this properly real quick. Intermission or encore intermission, shove the towels in. I've learned, I've totally learned. The blowback is vicious. There we go, now we're good. Okay, see you later in a video.